Bassheads, what's good? I think that this just might be one of the absolute best modern J basses on the market. And I'm not just saying that. I'm just back from an amazing run with Trevor James and his Jimi Hendrix Experience tribute. It's time to share the lowdown on this MVJ 466. Before I do, this video is sponsored by yours truly and the TED Talks Bass store linked below this video, as well as the affiliate links linked below this video. I'm also on a mission to grow this channel to 100K and up. So if you haven't done all the things, do all the things. There are timestamps below this video. Also, watch to the end because I'm going to show you some real world playing from myself and Trevor James as I take this bass on its maiden voyage, both literally and figuratively, on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. Let's get into it. If you saw the unboxing video, you know I made a promise that I would give my honest first impressions of the instrument without any influence from Elrick or Modern Vintage. Now, I mentioned Elrick because I mistakenly called it an Elrick in that video, but Modern Vintage is an independent brand that is owned by Elrick, and Modern Vintage does not bear the Elrick name. So listen, here's the short story on the bass. The MVJ 466 is a modern take on jazz basses of the mid-1960s. But what I found, what Trevor found when we both played the bass, in a real scenario on stage, through amplifiers with a drummer, is that there is a clarity and playability and stability that you really don't find in a lot of basses that are going for the tone of the time. Either they are, leaning too far to one side of the spectrum, usually sounding more, far more modern, feeling a lot more modern than those basses were back in those days. What I found right out of the box, no string changes, no setup adjustments, nothing. The only thing I did was I took off the tug bar because that, kind of gets in the way of my thumb, is that this has all of those tone characteristics and those playing characteristics that you might be looking for in a 60s style J bass. With that, let's just go on and get into the specs. The body of the MVJ 466 is a North American Alder for period correct tone. The neck is Torrefied Hard Maple. Let's talk about torrefication for a second. This is a process that essentially dries out the wood and takes new wood and brings it to a state that would normally take decades to happen naturally. This improves the stability and the elimination of dead spots. Fretboard is genuine Indian rosewood. It's a one-piece slab fretboard that improves balance of warmth and clarity. There's a white neck binding and pearl dot inlays, which is a combination that's only found on vintage 1966 models. There's a matching headstock that matches the body except on the Sunburst models, and you may know that to get a matching headstock is typically an upcharge. Hipshot Ultralite lollipop tuners with tapered posts, which force the string towards the headstock and improve contact with the nut. This increases the string tension and the sustain. The bridge is a low mass vintage style bent plate bridge with steel screw type saddles for maximum sustain, punch, and clarity. There's a dual action truss rod that will give you both forward and reverse adjustability of neck relief. The neck profile is a thin vintage C shape with a 1.5 inch normal neck width at the nut and a modern 9.5 inch fretboard radius. The electronics are completely passive and configured with volume, and tone. Passive, custom wound, modern vintage 66J single coil pickups. One of the things that I really noticed, the hum that you get when you roll off one pickup, was barely noticeable. There's a metal neck pickup cover, 4-ply tortoise shell pick guard, and the finger rest grab bar that really completes that vintage look. As I mentioned before, I had to take my tug bar off because it just really is not suitable for my playing style. The body finish is a high gloss lacquer that's available in period correct vintage colors like 3-tone Sunburst, Olympic white, and more. I have the piano black. The list price is $2,699 USD with a street price or minimum advertised price of $1,899 US. There's a 2-year limited parts and labor warranty. Now listen, specs are good, but let's get into some real life playing examples in the real world with the MVJ 466. A little bit by myself, a little bit by my homie Trevor James, who is absolutely killing on bass. All right, check it out. If you dug this video, please hit that subscribe button and that like button and share with some folks. You got to get your hands on one of these. Try one out at the very least. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.